Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a video series on building a project which is an internship portal. We have a community on WhatsApp where we decided what project to choose, and this is the one you all wanted. So let us get started with this. So first question is, what are we building? We are building an application where faculties can add or update internship opportunities and students can apply for the internship of their choice. That means there will be some filters like by location, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, etc. Or students can search for the internships by the technology as well, like mechanical students can search for CAD CAM kind of internships, whereas CSE and IT people can search for machine learning or web development, or like you get the idea. So how are we building it? So the interface with which users will use our application is through web browsers. That is, our project is going to be a web application. We will build the app in HTML, CSS and JavaScript for front-end development and PHP for back-end development. And we will be using MySQL database for storing the data of internships and applications. Next, what if I'm not familiar with these languages? Right, I know all of you might not be familiar with PHP or databases for that matter. It's okay. The entire purpose of building this project is to enhance your knowledge. What you have to do is just follow along and we'll get to it one by one. Okay. So understanding the architecture, we have a student and we have a faculty which, let us say, wants to interact with our app. Now students and faculties both have different tasks to do. Students want to view internships and they want to apply for internships. Faculties want to post internships and they want to shortlist the candidates that have applied. Now this is the architecture that we are going to have. So we have our website, which is a web server. If you don't know what web server is, it's okay, we'll get to it in the later part. So what we have is basically our website in which we have our database, PHP and our resources, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So what happens is, a web server is a software which will listen to the requests. So for example, Apache 2 is a web server which usually runs on port number 8080. So what happens is, when students will visit your website, Apache server continuously 24/7 listens to the activity on this port. So whenever a user will visit your website, Apache server will detect that there is a user and we need to show the website to him. So what Apache will do is, it will search for the files to give him which are present in the document root. So what is document root again? So we'll get to it later. So what basically means is, Apache is a web server, it's a middleman between our system and our users. So now Apache knows that user has visited our website. What we have to do, we have to generate HTML, CSS and JavaScript for that particular user. Now the thing that you need to know right now is, HTML, CSS and JavaScript are sent by the web server to the user. It means that HTML, CSS and JavaScript, they lie on the client side, whereas the PHP is executed on server side. So if someone tells you that I want to execute PHP code on my client machine, then they might be misleading you. So what basically happens is, let us say student wanted to view an internship for our location Mumbai. Now what he will do is, he'll mention the same using the application. Now our PHP application will understand that the user is trying to know the internships that are available in Mumbai. So what it will do is, it will query the database, it will search for the internships that are available in Mumbai, and database will return any such internships if there are. Now what PHP will have to do is, convert these rows and columns of data into user readable format, let us say cards or something like that, which the students can view. So our PHP will generate these resources which our Apache server will send back to the user. So this is the rough architecture, you can say, of our application. Tools required. Now as I said, for this given architecture, there are some things that we are gonna need. Let us say our web server, PHP, or HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and our database. So, what tools do you need for this project? First of all, you're gonna need something somewhere to write code in. So Visual Studio Code is the IDE that I'm gonna be using to write code in. After that, we are gonna need XAMPP. XAMPP stands for, like, X stands for multi-platform, that's Windows, Mac, and Ubuntu. A stands for Apache. M stands for MySQL. One out of these two P's stand for PHP, and the other P stands for Perl. But for this particular project, what we are gonna need is Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Next, we need a web browser to access our app. So that is pretty much it. Even if you don't have access to a laptop, just follow along. Our video series is not going to be, you can like see it from your phone as well, and you can remember the concepts as we proceed with the learning. So yeah, what are we gonna learn? So first thing that you'll get after watching this series is some basic idea about programming. We'll be writing object oriented code so that you can know what classes are, what objects are, things that are already taught to in class, but you will see them in practical implementation. You'll know how DBMS works, what kind of queries that are there we have to write, how do you optimize queries, how do you reduce the database calls. We'll look into that as well. You'll also get to learn about different HTTP methods and different HTTP protocols, what are HTTP response codes, etc. We'll also look into RESTful APIs, what does API stand for, what is a RESTful web service, and things like that. And at the end, we'll also be learning about the best practices that you can follow in order to write better code. So overall, first thing that we have done already is the intro part. Second video and third video is going to be about installing VS Code and XAMPP on your machine. After that, we'll be talking about how to set up this project. Then we'll be talking about HTML, CSS, then JavaScript, followed by PHP, followed by MySQL. So once all these are done, we will be combining these concepts together and we'll see our project coming to life. So that is it for this video, guys. Make sure you install VS Code and XAMPP on your machines. The next video about setting up your project environment is coming really soon. So if you are excited about this project, if you are gonna follow along, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.